welcome to another episode of Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. I'm Kevin Coleman. Thank you for tuning in today. Our very own Kate Czaplinski was joined by Howard Safan on CT Pulse today. Here's what Kate Czaplinski and Howard had to say during this interview.
First up, Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim on Monday announced that the ballpark at Harbor Yard, home to the Bluefish for their 20-year history, would be transformed into a concert venue. Now, Ganim announced that the developer chosen for that project is Harbor Yard Amphitheater LLC, which is a partnership between concert promoter Live Nation and Howard Safan, who's the owner of the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton. And on the line today, we have Howard Safan joining us. Howard, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, obviously, Howard, some people sad to see the ballpark and the Bluefish go, but when did you start seeing a concert venue there as something that could be kind of a viable option for that area?
Great question. About 2 years ago, I had lunch with Jim Koplik, who's the head of Live Nation in Connecticut, and we were talking about the music industry, and Jim was saying that festivals and boutique amphitheaters were the future. And in fact, he said that he was approached by several communities about bringing a boutique amphitheater to their area. And I said, well, why not Bridgeport? And he said, I'd love Bridgeport, but where? And that's when the wheels started spinning. So it's been in motion for a while. We've done business analysis on it, spreadsheets, and we are incredibly excited to bring concerts to Bridgeport.
Now, Howard, this is a bit of a private-public partnership. Your group will be making a $15 million investment in it, but it's still going to belong to the city of Bridgeport. So can you kind of explain to us kind of what that partnership is? Yeah,
the city of Bridgeport owns the property, owns the building, the stadium. We're going to be renovating it. Bridgeport will help us a little bit. But at the end of the day, we make a rent payment that's called a payment in lieu of taxes. So that facilitates the public-private partnership.
When do you expect to get kind of work underway on this?
Well, the drawings will start immediately. There's a lot of architectural and engineering issues. The venue is going to be unique. In that it will have a tensile roof, which will be iconic. And if you've ever been to the Denver airport, they have that's a roof that looks circus-like. And the roof will cover the entire area. So in typical amphitheaters, you go and the VIP area may be a little bit tented, and the stage, but everything else is open in the grass. This will be fully covered, and that'll make it very, very different and unique from other venues in the region, if not the country.
Now, you do have the Webster Bank Arena right next door. Is there going to be some synergy there, or is it going to be more of a competitive feeling? Or, I mean, I know that this amphitheater is only going to be open during kind of the warm weather months, right?
Well, yes. So there'll be tons of synergies. First of all, I was formerly the president of Webster Bank Arena. I'm the one who created the Renaissance. So all those employees are my former employees, and we only want to help them. Bringing concerts to Bridgeport is the most important thing, and the ability to bring 25 concerts to Bridgeport, basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day, is amazing. And we're hoping that artists will sit there and understand, how great Bridgeport is, how nice the people are, and want to come back to the arena. So we think we'll have a very, very positive effect being an entertainment draw for the arena.
Now, when do you have the work getting completed and underway and maybe the first concert? Do you have a date that you hope to have that kind of kickoff?
Yeah, we will be open in spring of 19. So roughly May of 19 is when we're projecting for the first concert.
Now, when you talk about kind of a boutique venue, what kind of acts are you thinking of attracting? Is it going to be similar to, what most of us still call the Meadows in Hartford, or is it going to be a little different from that as far as bands?
No, the Meadows in Hartford is completely different. That seats roughly 25,000 seats. This will seat somewhere between 6,500 and 8,000. So if you think there's a beautiful amphitheater up in Boston, that's along the water. There's an amphitheater in Coney Island. Those are more akin to the way that this will be.
And I know there's been some talk about future events and festivals there in addition to concerts. What kind of events do you have in mind?
So you would have the beer fest, you may have a flower show. We would love to have the Bridgeport Symphony there. We would look at having, home improvement expos, things of that nature, maybe car shows. So it would be entertainment for the community that people could enjoy.
And now you own the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, ice rinks, a lot of family activities there, mini golf, but you do have some background in the music business, right?
Sure. So, for a decade, I was president of the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, and during part of that time, I was also serving to run the business of the New York Islanders and overseeing the Nassau College. Overseeing was an education. We did that for several years, and then taking over and being president of the arena, it certainly assisted me and facilitated being able to aggressively go after this amphitheater.
And now, since this news has kind of come out earlier this week, what's some of the reaction you've been getting from people you've spoken to?
It's my phone is lit up like a Roman candle. It's nobody calls anymore. Everybody's home. But people are just so psyched and pumped that we're going to have economic activity in Bridgeport. It's and let alone concerts. I mean, concerts are when you run an arena, concerts are everything. And to think about during the summer over 3 month period to have 25 concerts, it just doesn't get better than that. We're really, really excited.
Now, for you personally, any dream act or band that you want to see there someday?
You're the second one who's asked me that. My bucket list, I had Elton John at the arena, so he's wonderful, and his agent is a wonderful man. But Stevie Wonder is on my bucket list. But don't go by me. My kids think I'm old and I don't know anything. So Stevie Wonder's my bucket list, or Dave Matthews, John Mayer, and things of that nature. So we look forward to it. And there's nobody better in this industry than Jimmy Koplik, and he'll be booking the amphitheater, and he's an incredible judge of talent and legendary, and we look forward to the acts that he brings to the amphitheater.
All right. Well, Howard Safan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, and congratulations on the new endeavor.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate Chaplinsky. Again, you can catch that interview on live.han.network. She interviewed Howard Safan. They spoke about how the Bridgeport Bluefish will likely be playing their final innings at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. We're going to take a break. When we come back, John Kovacs is going to join me. We're going to talk more about this Bridgeport Bluefish news, and we're going to throw some summer baseball in there as well, right after this on the HAN Network.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN Network.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance Event. Now through August 31st.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
At Pure Barre Ridgefield, our tried and true method can shape every body and fit any schedule. Pure Barre is a total body workout using the ballet bar to perform small isometric movements, which burn fat, sculpt muscles, and create long, lean physiques. Sweat away the day and get lost in the music. Pure Barre Ridgefield, located at 86 Danbury Road. Like us on Facebook at Pure Barre Ridgefield.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HA Network. Kevin Coleman. I'm now joined by John Kovacs. John, how's it going?
Doing all right. It's a Wednesday. It is what it is.
It's a Wednesday. It's beautiful out. We're almost there. We're almost close to the weekend.
Almost.
Well, we want to send a big thank you to Coach Santiago and Coach Ramos yesterday from Warren Harding High School. We had a great conversation with them. They had a lot of good things to say, John.
It was great talking to them, get ready for football, and it's a program that deserves support, that needs support. I mean, it's not just a waste of time. It's guys who are out there and who have kids buying into studying. They have kids going to major colleges. They have kids continuing studies who otherwise wouldn't, and that's what sports provides sometimes, is that way into college that you might not otherwise have.
Well, let me ask you this. They moved to the CCC, or the SCC, excuse me, sorry, and they were in the FCIAC. Mm-hmm. Do you like that move, or would you like to see them stay in the FCIAC?
Tough call. I mean, I understand leaving the FCIAC. The thing that I didn't like about those moves was having coached at one of the tech schools in the Constitution State Conference, which is where they went in between the FCIAC and the Southern Connecticut Conference. Having coached in that conference, that league was set up so that the state tech schools, so that those kids had athletic opportunities. And what it morphed into over the past, say, 6 or 7 years is you would have public schools that had trouble getting numbers or that struggled in their leagues get into the CSC, the thought being we'll beat the tech schools. Because your tech schools, you don't have a feeder program because the kids are coming from everywhere. So I think the SCC is a more appropriate conference for them. They did very well in the CSC, as I felt that Harding would. I think the SCC is good for them, and as Coach Santiago said yesterday, one thing the SCC does that the FCIAC does not is it tiers it based on the strength of the team, so the games are competitive. The FCIAC, you have your haves, your kind of there, and your have-nots, and the haves are constantly beating the other two. You kind of have better striation with more parity in divisions in the SCC because they do have that tiered system.
Now, they also, Coach Santiago and Coach Ramos not only are football coaches, but also part of the wrestling program.
Correct.
I like what they had to say, too, about the wrestling program. You look at last year where they were trying to raise money for the wrestling program. They were able to do it. $18,000, they got it. Now, a year later, they go back into the same situation. Do you think they're going to find themselves on the right path again? They think they're going to raise enough money to get that wrestling program back?
My hope is, and I think there's enough grants out there, I think there are enough donors out there that somebody will step up. There are enough programs here because it's not just a sports program. It's not just a silly little athletic program. This is an opportunity for these kids, and it is also a place for them to go. You keep in mind a lot of these kids being from Bridgeport might not go home to the house that you would go home to in your Darien, in your Norwalk, in your Fairfield. This gives them a structure that they might not have. It gives them something to aim for. So my hope is that somebody steps up with the money to help preserve that Harding wrestling program and all of the programs in the Park City.
Well, we wish them the best of luck, especially this upcoming football season. We'll definitely keep an eye on the presidents, so best of luck to them, to Coach Santiago and Coach Ramos. Now we'll switch gears over to the Bridgeport Bluefish, John, and we spoke lightly about this yesterday. I think this is a perfect moment to really dive deep into this because our very own Kate Chaplinsky was able to sit down and have an interview with Howard Safan, owner of Sports Center of Connecticut, who is really one of the big guys in charge of now moving the Bridgeport Bluefish out of the ballpark at Harbor Yard and turning this into a concert venue. Just want to get your initial reaction when you first saw this.
From the vantage point of those involved in the amphitheater, it's a great opportunity. It's a great location for it. I think there will be a draw to it. I think that it's obviously something that they think will work. And, I mean, you have Live Nation and Jim Koplik. And Jim Koplik's been promoting concerts in Connecticut forever and ever and done a great job of it and sold out venues anywhere he's gone. So I'm certain that Howard Safan would not get involved in this if he didn't think it was a winner. And as he said himself in the interview with Kate Chaplinsky on CT Pulse, the involvement of Jim Koplik in this is huge. The involvement of Live Nation in this, it just raises the bar here that you're promoting concerts with one of the premier promoters, not in the United States, really in the world. Am I upset to see the ballpark at Harbor Yard go? Yes, I am, because I love ballparks. I hate the Bluefish going away, and I don't know that they'll find a new landing place. I don't know that they just won't go, the way of the Atlantic City Surf or some of these other clubs that have gone defunct. So I hate that. That said, you're seeing a lot now today, a lot of, the end of, how it's the end of, their run here, and you're seeing some of it from people who really didn't care when they were there, who didn't go to games, who wouldn't be bothered because it's unaffiliated baseball, it's independently baseball, it's small time, and they haven't drawn. I was at the Legends game on Saturday night. You had, El Duque, you had Bill the Spaceman Lee, you had Tim Tuffle. I mean, you had some, big local names there, and maybe half filled.
Well,
maybe.
Let me ask you this: sell me on why I should go to a baseball game at the ballpark at Harbor Yard.
Because it's affordable. Day trip like going to New York is. You can afford the tickets. Fortunately or unfortunately, you can walk up and get tickets day of the game, and it's just a nice place to sit and watch a game. It's a beautiful view, and that photo there by our own Steve Gutman.
That's gorgeous.
You can see that, just how beautiful it is. You see the ferry coming, you see the trains coming through the outfield, and it's a great venue. It's a venue that when I was in college 30 years ago, I said, boy, this would be a great place to have a baseball stadium. And you've got that industrial backdrop that some of us who love the old urban ballparks like. Some can take or leave to power plant. I can take or leave to power plant.
Yeah.
But some of the old brick buildings with the signs painted on them, it's really a nice urban venue. It's the same things that are being said as positives for the amphitheater. It's convenient to I-95, it's convenient to the train, it's convenient to the ferry.
Well, there's a nice backdrop of I-95 from the stadium, too. That's a nice look.
It is a nice. You get to look at the, the cornerstone of business and banking in the state of Connecticut. You've got the bank buildings there. It's a nice view. It's a nice place. You see the Barnum Museum. It's a nice place for a venue. The ballpark didn't succeed. And you have to admit that. It's unfortunate. You would think it would be filled or 2/3, and you're not approaching that at a lot of these games, even the weekday games.
Yeah, I remember as a kid going to these games and they were filled. And it's unfortunate, but you talk about how now Live Nation getting involved. They're talking about having 29 concerts at the new location that's after renovation is going to be done. You look at these 29 concerts, John, they have a venue right next door. Do you think that makes sense?
It's not an outdoor venue.
But I know, but at the same time, it's closed indoors. Just want to get your thoughts on, because you're looking at two locations right next door to each other that are considered concert venues at the same time.
I think that what they will sell the amphitheater on is that it's an outdoor, that it's an outdoor show. They will sell the beautiful views, which we just talked about. And I think they can coexist. One nice thing for them is, hopefully they'll have some agreement that if the weather does go bad, they can move it if they need to.
Right. That's very true. Now, this is the final season for the Bluefish. Would you like to see them being sent off in the right way?
To see them raise the trophy would be great, but then it would be, it's always difficult when you have, and it's happened before in sports, when you have your defending champ not there to defend the next year.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing to see another great shot. The ballpark at Harbor Yard, perhaps one of the final shots. We'll see. But we're going to step aside when we come back. John and I are going to break down the Trumbull 14 and under Babe Ruth team who departs for Virginia today to get ready for the Babe Ruth World Series. All after this on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
Things are heating up this summer. See some of the world's best tennis players at the Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. Enjoy food trucks, entertainment, and special events throughout the week, August 18th through the 26th. Get tickets at ConnecticutOpen.org. At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside.
Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. DockShop.com.
Celebrate summer with fresh made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance event. Now through August 31st.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. Kevin Coleman, John Kobach. We'll switch gears over to the 14 and under Trumbull Babe Ruth baseball team, who continues their great success as they make their way down to Glen Falls, Virginia for the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. They won the New England Regionals, John. It was a great tournament, and now I understand after me questioning you, you're ready to question me.
Well, I was on camera when we were in Trumbull, so I was kind of focused on shots and not the whole thing. So you saw them win. They won on their home field against the rest of the best teams in the region. Who has to have a big tournament for them to win in Virginia?
Well, I think you're seeing it right here on your screen, Sam West. And I think Sam West was absolutely lights out in that championship game against Hingham Hall, Eastern Massachusetts. And you saw him go down to the wire. I think he was great throughout that tournament for Trumbull. This is a guy that needs to have a big tournament. You look, throughout this roster, I mean, this is a pretty stacked roster. You look at Ryan Teixeira at first base. You look at Brandon Buddha. I really like in the hot corner. Jack Allen has been great defensively. If he can continue his great success at second base, I think Trumbull has a great shot in this World Series.
How about when they're up to bat? I mean, we know that they have great pitching. We've seen them play stellar defense. I mean, some of the defense I saw in the semis and the finals up there at Trumbull High School in the New England Regional was second to none. What do they have to do at the plate?
Well, they were patient, I really thought, during this tournament. And you saw a lot of teams be aggressive on that first pitch. You know, they waited for their pitch. And I think especially at this level, that's so important. But you see right here on your screen, you got Jackson Vicente, and he's hitting in the 3 spot, the catcher, and he's key to this team. If he can continue his hot bat, I think this Trumbull team, again, like I mentioned, can be a team that's going to be deadly in this tournament. I think they very patient. You know, once they get on base, this is a fast team as well. They can, you know, they're a good team. They're a good base running team. But I think they work on the fundamentals when it comes to batting, John. And I think, you know, Coach Mike Buswell, as you see in your screen in the middle there, you know, I don't think you can find a better coach at this level who can do that.
He's had them here before. How important is that prior experience on a stage this big?
Oh, it's huge. You look at that experience and, you know, whether you're a coach or you're a player, I think it's massive because you learn from those mistakes. You learn from what you've seen previously. You can improve yourself. And I think for Coach Buswell, I think he can take from what he learned from the past and use it as motivation. You can use it to his advantage now in this tournament. What went right, what went wrong, you know, pitch counts. You know, I thought he used pitch counts perfectly in this tournament. And I think you look at how he gets his pitchers ready for each game. You know, I think you look at him, and I think he's learned from the past. I think that's huge for a team like Trumbull in this tournament.
How far you think they can go?
I certainly think they can go all the way. There's no reason, you know, to rule them out. You're looking at some of these best teams in this tournament, though. But again, this is a very talented Trumbull team. So I definitely would like to think that this team can get to the final. And you know, we're going to be keeping updated with Coach Buswell. He's going to keep sending us photos. You know, keep sending us photos, updates, everything we can, just like you're seeing right here.
And keep an eye on Nutmeg Sports next week and on TrumbleTimes.com for updates from Glen Allen, Virginia, and the Trumbull 14-year-olds.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I think this is a great moment for the community of Trumbull. It's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll be sure to keep you updated. But that'll do it for today's episode. We'd like to thank Howard Safan and Kate Chaplinsky for their interview together. John and I will possibly be back tomorrow. We'll hope for.
I'll be somewhere.
You'll be somewhere, hopefully.
Be talking fishing at 2 tomorrow.
Yankee Fisherman's on tomorrow. Be sure to tune in to the Yankee Fisherman. Tune in to Coffee Break at 11. Frank, feel better. We're all excited to see you back in the office. That'll do it today for Kevin and John. This is Nutmeg Sports. Have a good day.